Okay, so we discussed how you could go about squeezing more money out of the clubs that you're wanting to play in, and we also discussed one method of demonstrating your potential to the club owner, and anything that he made over what he makes now should be worth you getting a higher paycheck, right? So how are you going to actually go about doing this? There are the things we discussed in the first module that are now going to come into play. The first module basically laid out the basic root foundations for everything you're going to be doing to achieve your goal of making more money and moving you and your band into the big time status of getting paid what you're worth at each and every gig you play. And this is important because, again, most bands really don't come to the table with a plan like this, so the fact that you can approach clubs with an outline of how you can actually help them make more money is once again going to move you into a higher level of respect in their eyes. And once you do this, you're going to find that it becomes a lot easier to ask for the amount of money you feel you're worth and actually end up getting it. So some of the things that you're going to lay out for him are your publicity package. And that may mean different things for your particular situation, depending on how many of the techniques you've put into action from what you learned in the first module. So if you've got your posters ready for him and you're able to offer any free CDs to customers, or if you're going to give out autographed band shots, then these are some of the things that you're going to offer clubs as part of your publicity package, and each and every one of these items carries real value. They not only provide club owners a little something extra to offer their patrons, but they also take you out of that small-time garage band persona and move you into the bigger arenas. Let's face it, if bands think they're big enough to offer signed photos, then most fans are just going to fall in line with that line of thinking, and they're really going to think that you are a big-time band and that they should know more about you than they do now. And this piece is just going to help you further your cause of moving into the famousness of your band, and that's pretty cool to be considered famous even when you may not be at this point in time. The next thing you're going to sweeten the pot with is your advertising package. And as a side note, I keep referring to these as packages, and there's a reason for that. See, if you get the selling of your band to club owners laid out in a systematic form, it becomes really easy to pick and choose what you're going to offer different clubs as you sell your band to them. Some clubs may have a fantastic advertising system already, and your advertising may not appeal to them as much as your media package, which we're going to get into in just a sec. But having a system that you can follow and packages you can pull out as you need to is really going to make your job much, much easier. So anyway, your advertising package may include investments in small ads in the local newspaper, or you might have a street team in place that's going to flyer out in front of the club, and you're going to pop smaller flyers in car windshield wipers all over town. Whatever the case is, these are all value-added propositions that you can offer the club in terms of your advertising package. And of course, if his club name is included on all your flyers, then this is a really big pot sweetener as well and can further your selling job even more. It just brings more value to the table, and that's really what you're trying to do. Add value and reasoning behind the amount of money you're asking to get paid. And of course, there's your own mailing list. And if you've been diligent in building it, then you should have a fairly decent size at this point. It's a valuable asset that you can offer to tap into for club owners, especially if you're asking for the door as part of your fee. And if this is the case, then you can even guarantee that you'll pull in at least 50 of your own fans, and then you can blast out a coupon to your list that lets the first 50 to arrive at the club on that night that you play, they'll get in for free. Now, this is gonna work out for both you and the club owner. With 50 people coming into the club who didn't have to pay to get in, they're now gonna have some extra cash in their pocket to buy more drinks. This makes the club owner happy, and it's gonna make him want to have you back time and time again. And maybe next time you're not only taking the door plus a fee for playing, but you're also not letting in customers for free this time, so you can make more money as long as your fans are loyal and you've gone through the process of making your list responsive enough, and they'll actually come out to your gigs. But having loyal fans shouldn't be a problem for you, again, because you're doing the things I laid out for you in Module 1, like taking care of your list. You've been offering them so many freebies and coupons that they now love you and want to support your band and give back the love, right? So this shouldn't be a problem as long as you keep working that list and the system properly. You can tap into this as a huge value-added proposition when you approach the clubs. Now, this particular carrot that you can dangle for club owners is going to have their eyes gleaming with anticipation when you offer it to them, and that's free publicity. Remember, again in Module 1, how we talked about getting press and offering valuable stories to the media in order to get them to be interested in your band. Well, this is the time to pull something out of your toolbox and put it to good use. If you really want to get in good with club owners and find places that you can play over and over again, get them some free publicity. If you've got anything you can tie into a charity and link it up with the club that you want to play in, you can get some free press that not only puts you and your band in the spotlight, but can also get the club's name into the media as well. For instance, when you're setting up your gig, reach out to the local charity and let them know that you're planning on letting the first 50 people into the club for free. But instead of having them come in for free, have them offer a donation of their choosing to that particular charity. Now, you can make this have even more traction if you add an autograph signing right in front of the club during the day of your gig and have the charity join you and go all out. Set up the tables showing the charity's name with your band posters all around and do it in front of the club if you can. If you can't do it in front of the club, because sometimes there are restrictions in certain cities on what you can and can't do on the streets and sidewalks. So if you can't do it in front of the club, at least get a plaque or a banner with the club name on it that you can include in your little event and offer to sign as many band pictures as you can spare, and anyone who brings out your CDs or t-shirts can get them signed as well. And once you've got this set up with a charity, get on the phone and let the local television and radio stations know exactly what it is you're up to. And if the charity has an in with the media, make sure that they call in their favors as well. Charities usually have great relationships with the local media, and whenever they call on them, you can usually get a lot of free coverage. And of course, once their media contacts arrive, try to get the charity to introduce you to them or introduce yourself and work on making a media contact that you can tap into in the future. Now, we're going to be covering a lot more about the media in the Work the Media section in a future module, but for now, this little tidbit can really help you sell your cause to the club owner. Imagine the look on his face when he sees all the attention and media coverage that your band can bring to his club. These are the kind of things club owners dream of. And if you can be the vehicle that brings this kind of coverage and exposure to his club, then you're going to get whatever you ask for, and he's going to give it to you willingly. So let's consider a situation where you've already pulled off what we just discussed regarding media and publicity for a club, and now you're off to get some gigs in another club. And maybe it's in another town, or it could even be in the same town. But imagine being able to approach club owners with a package like this and a history that speaks for itself. To begin, club owners are probably going to have already seen you in the paper, and if they haven't, they'll already have read about your escapades in the professional grade promo package that you've sent out to them. Either reading about you in the paper or seeing you on television or even hearing about you on the radio is going to put you into a whole different light in club owners' eyes. They're going to see you as famous, and I do mean that seriously. In today's world, anyone who gets on the radio, in the paper, or on television is pretty much instantly famous in most people's eyes. But the fact is that most don't realize that by doing the simple things you're going to be doing to get press, almost anyone can do this. They just don't know how. But now you do, so you can use this to your advantage. Being well known and instantly recognizable puts you into a whole different world. It makes you famous, and being famous allows you to demand more market power, which in turn means you instantly qualify for a higher pay grade. And the more you apply this principle, the easier it gets to ask for what you want and think you deserve. So every club that you approach after this is going to give you less and less resistance as long as you can provide them with the proof and the evidence to back what it is you say you can do for them. So I'm very confident that now you're starting to see how having a proper promotional package and a systematic and well thought out approach to selling yourself to clubs can really put you in a position to start asking for more money and actually get it. And that's the beauty of the mass music exposure system. It's designed to build on itself one step at a time. Apply everything you've learned in Module 1 and start to add what we covered in Module 2 and what we're covering here in Module 3, and you'll start to see your music career path momentum slowly but surely explode into something really special. And it's something that can turn a part-time music career into a seriously high-paying full-time gig.